Hey, welcome everybody. This is another edition of Midlife Crisis. I'm your host, Leo. So today we got a very special edition. What I'm doing is I'm installing a backup camera and a double DIN touchscreen Sony radio in the C6 Corvette convertible today. So what I did is I went ahead and I pre-installed some parts to make the video go a little easier for you so you're not just sitting there in agony watching this fat bald guy fight with tools, right? So this is what we're going to do. Come over here. I already installed the license plate bracket. It's not rocket science. You take these two out, you put the bracket in behind, you screw everything back in. It's just two screws. Really? Phillips head. You got to watch me do that? No, you don't. The camera comes right over. It's a little bracket. Brings it right over. It's right here. The wire goes in through one of the license plate lights because it has a gap there. So I shoved the wire through there so I didn't have to make any more holes. So it's nice and clean. You'll never see it. It's all good. You just see this little black cube of the camera. All right. What I had to do is I did take out this one passenger side inner tail light. It's a Torx 15, T15. You take that out, this folds down, twist, lens comes right off, let the bulb hang. It's not going to scratch this unless you start rubbing up against it, okay? I went ahead and I made a hole in the fiberglass wall leading from in here into the trunk. And I already took the cover off the inside trunk. That way we can see all the wiring and do the wire up. So come on into the trunk. Let's check it out. All right, guys. You see right here? That's where I made a little hole, just big enough to fit this little black piece that connects to the power wire and the RCAs, right? So here, what I did is I ran the RCA video cable that has the little red helper wire attached on each end and an extra wire through the whole center of the car, right under this, all the way through the center console, straight up to this radio, to where the radio goes, okay? And the reason for that, why did I add an extra wire? I'll tell you why. Because even though this car is never going to tow, I want to be able to hit the little icon that says backup camera on my radio, and all of a sudden I have the backup image on my radio without being in reverse, okay? So in order to do that, I need to have power to the backup camera and be able to trigger it as well. So I need it to work when I put it in reverse as well as when I just press the button on the screen. So what I did is I ran this extra wire, this blue wire here, okay? And that goes from the reverse wire on the back of the radio, the reverse trigger wire on the back of the radio, to the reverse wire that's on the reverse light on the car. So as soon as I put it in reverse, it'll tell the radio to turn on to the reverse camera, and it'll start accepting the feed, which comes in through the RCA. Okay, so this RCA is going to provide the video feed, this little yellow one, right? It's a black wire. It's got the little yellow RCA on it. The red wire that comes with that, the little helper wire, it's a red wire on each end of the RCA. I put that at the head unit. I put it to the red power wire that feeds the head unit, the constant 12 volt. So as soon as I start up the car and the radio's on, that backup camera has power. What it allows me to do is, if I hit the little icon on the radio, I can see out the backup camera without being in reverse. Okay? Very important. I was like trying to figure out, oh my God, how am I going to wire this? I need to see out the back. Why? Because I'm a control freak. I'm an old grumpy man that likes to control a bunch of shit because I can't control anything else. So that's why I did that. What I did here is the red power wire for the camera goes to the helper on the RCA to power behind the radio. RCA gets plugged into the RCA behind the radio. This blue cable, this extra wire, that goes from the trigger wire on the back of the radio to the actual reverse light positive. So you got two reverse lights on the back of the car, right? This harness is for the right side of the car. There's another harness on the left side for the left side of the car. All right, so listen up. You're going to find two green wires here. There's two. One's dark green, one's light green. The light green is the one that's going to be for the reverse light, okay, on a C6 Corvette. Now, I don't know about any other car, and you can look it up on another car. You can 12 volt test it on another car. You can figure it out on another car. On this car, okay, for the C6 Chevrolet Corvette, the light green goes to the reverse light. So you plug in the trigger from the back of the radio to the light green. Black on every car means ground, people. So I ground the camera to the black wire right here, okay? Now, I'm gonna read black electrical tape everything, cover it up real nice so it doesn't stain. And I'm gonna hide all this, and I'm gonna put the cover back on. That way, it looks nice and tidy, and you'd never know anything was here. I know what you're thinking. The negative should be ground to chassis. Hey guys, it's a Corvette. Everything's fiberglass. You know how hard it is to find chassis? It's easier to find a ground wire, okay? So I did the ground wire. You want to hunt for a chassis? Go for it. All right? But that's going to be how I did here. This is all set. It's wired up. I'm going to put the cover back on. I'm going to plug this into the little light that goes into the trunk area. There's another one on that side. You know, I'm going to make sure I fish this through. This is the emergency trunk open. You have the emergency door open for the driver there. You have the emergency fuel opening over there. I'll make sure that's all accessible and everything works out just fine. But that's for here. Come on, let's go check out the dash, okay? So we're going to close this up. That's all good. Now you see I got the dash out because the video before this, I did the shifter assembly, okay? And remember what I said? Don't take your car apart and put it back together a whole bunch of times, or you're gonna get that squeaky squeaky, okay? So I took it apart once, and I left it apart. The shifter assembly is replaced, it's all good. Now we're gonna finish up on the radio. So I'm gonna get on over there, we're gonna check it out, but here is the new radio, okay? I already put it into the bracket. I did a video on how to pre-wire the radio and how to put it on this bracket already. So just look up my other videos and you'll see exactly how to do that. Okay, now this, I will put a link in the description below. The radio, the backup camera, all came together. And I'll put a link in the description below to those. So that way you can have the same one if you want. It comes with the bracket so it looks nice and clean. All you'll have to do is provide your own little extra wire like the blue wire that I provided, okay? So let me get on in there. Follow me, just check that out right there. And we're gonna plug away here. All right, guys. Long time ago, a few videos back, I told you you're gonna get to see me get in and out of this car, and you're gonna laugh. So laugh, I don't know, comment on how funny it is, but here goes, my big butt's getting in. All right, so you gotta get down here like this. Swing it around. All right, there you go. Porky Pig is in the convertible. All right, guys, here we go. Remember that RCA I mentioned? Here's the RCA for the backup camera. Here's the power, the helper wire. It's wired into the power, okay? So that's for there. Then I already put in the microphone. I put the microphone right here, and I ran the wire in through here, down the whole inside. I tucked it under here, brought it in, and looped it in here. So it's right here. It's very easy to get, and it's ready to go. Okay? So that's, here it is. So that's for your microphone. Now, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Car radio antenna. This is going to basically be very, very straightforward, guys. I got the whole wiring apparatus. I shove it in. I had it down there. Make room. Get it out of the way. You know, I only screwed this back in just so that it's out of the way and not flopping. It makes it look a little easier to see, you know what I mean? But here are the two wires I ran through the whole car. Okay, all I did was I took a wire hanger that came with my dry cleaning. I untwisted it, I straightened it out, I left the loop on, and the loop part is the part I shoved through the hole under the carpet because it's looped, it's round, it won't snag on things. And on the other end, I taped the wires so that I was able to shove the whole wire hanger through the carpeting, reach under there, grab that loop, and pull, and I pulled the wires right through. Makes it a lot easier. Get yourself a wire hanger. They're cheap, they're everywhere. You could probably just go into a dry cleaner and ask for one, they'll give it to you. They always got a whole bunch of them just laying around. Doesn't even have to be new, so long as it just can be straightened out and keep the hook, you'll be good. All right, so here's the wires. Ran it through. It's ready to go. So this is the radio, guys. And yeah, let me move this so that it's a little easier to see. Okay. Now it's a double DIN face, single DIN back. And the good thing about that is that it allows this whole pocket here for all the wires to just chill there. And you're not jamming them and this is pushing out and torquing and making it all weird. It's perfectly fine now. Okay, so what you do is this is an extra USB and an auxiliary, right? So what I did is the center console, you know how you have the ashtray here with a little door and the little cigarette lighter? I took out that whole cigarette lighter and I put in a USB and auxiliary remote locator. And I'm gonna plug those into here and here. So I'll be able to open up this little tray and I'll have auxiliary jack and a USB that goes right into the radio. The reason being is I have a USB thumb drive that I store a bunch of music on. And I can just leave that connected and I can listen to all this music without having to worry about streaming and reception and having my phone hooked up to the car. Now this will do the whole phone hookup and all that, yaddy-daddy-daddy, but why? People like to text me, ding, ding, ding. I mean, for me to even be able to do these videos, I got to put my phone on airplane mode so it doesn't ding, ding, ding and annoy the crap out of us, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to plug this in, this in, this in, and this into the radio, and everything works. For that remote USB and auxiliary jack, I can't really connect this radio in until I have that center console here. So let me get that for you. Get ready. I get to get in and out again. All right, boys and girls. Ugh. Oh, here we go. All right. Here we are. Guys, this is great. Look at how clean that's going to be, huh? All right. Oh, boy. In and out again. Jeez, this is brutal, guys. This is brutal. It's weird. Getting in and out is painful. But once you're in the C6 Corvette, it is so comfortable. It's so designed around the driver. It's just not designed for getting in and out. It's designed to be around you being in the car. Okay? So, check this out. Here's the center console. This is what I was talking about. You keep that closed, right? Well, you open it up. There's no cigarette lighter here. You see, I got an auxiliary jack and a USB port. So I could just go ahead and take this out because I don't smoke. Don't need that. Now I can put a little wire cable extension here. Have my little thumb drive chilling in here. Keep that closed. Nobody will know anything. The car will look wonderful. And I can listen to all my music. So I can be as much of a hillbilly as I want listening to my country, okay? Because that's what I like to hear. All right, so here's the thing, guys. This is the tricky part, right? You got to put the radio in, plug it all up, and plug these in too. So we're going to do a little movie magic. We're going to hit the pause. I'm going to wire it, plug it in, and you'll get to see the final result, okay? All right, guys. Thanks to movie magic, we were able to speed along. You didn't need to see me fiddling with a bunch of wires trying to jam them in there, but they fit pretty nice. It actually went together pretty quick. I think it took me all of like 60 seconds to put together, okay? So here's what it is. That's all wired. And I got the wires done for my auxiliary jack and remote USB. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why am I holding this and not installing it? Well, when I changed the shifter assembly in a previous video, I removed this. And I don't like it. It is ugly. It is worn. So I am currently looking into what I'm gonna do about this. Now, remember how I told you guys, don't take your car apart and put it back together multiple times or else it's gonna get squeaky squeaky. So I'm not putting this back. I'm just gonna let this hang out right here and chill, okay? And that's how I'm gonna leave it, just like this. It's not gonna hurt anything, nothing's gonna get damaged, nobody plays with my car, okay? My kids are really good, they don't touch it, it's all good. So, but I did want to show you how clean it looks, okay? This does look clean, and technically it should work. So, let's check this out. I get to look at this through as if it was a TV for me. A TV into a TV. All right, so date and time, we're gonna change. Ooh, yeah, that's a loud volume, huh? All right, let's see here. I have no idea what, February, what's today? I think it's the 22nd, 2023, and who cares about the time? I could just adjust the time later. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. So, you see right here, guys, I should technically be able to hit that rear camera button and see out the back. And there you go. I can see out the back. Now with this, I'm able to, I gotta angle it down more. So I'm gonna angle the camera view down a little, but that allows me to do that without having the car on and in reverse where it's dangerous to be behind the car, right? So, especially being an automatic, I gotta hold the brake, have a parking brake, all this la-di-da-di stuff in order for it to work. So I'm just gonna be able to do this, put it in reverse, and done. Now, here's the real deal test, right? I gotta start this and see if the reverse camera works when I put it in reverse. So press the brake, start button, radio's on, it's gonna be loud. Here. There it is, folks. Now, I'm gonna shut off the lines on the camera itself because it's showing double lines and I don't like that. Alright, so I'm gonna play with the settings and shut that off. But as you can see, the radio works, everything works here. It's very loud. I'm gonna have to adjust this beep 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 chime, and it's right here. So I'm gonna turn it down so that way it's not running.
Try press densify.
Wow, that chime is really annoying, guys, huh? It's not even this chime, it's a setting in the radio. But that's a radio setting. I'll tinker with that, you guys can tinker with that, and that's it. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and there'll be plenty of more dumb stuff I do in the future, folks. See you soon, see you next time. Take care.